Hello, good evening to you, and thanks for following along here on our live Warriors Over the Wasatch coverage here at Hill Air Force Base. I'm Sarah Murphy.
And I'm Brian McElhatton. A beautiful day to be out here on the Air Force Base, and we're glad to have you along with us for team coverage as we lead up to the public opening of Warriors Over the Wasatch, the big air show here.
We got a lot of exciting stuff in store for you. We have our own Jonathan May on standby here on base, as well as Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy. She's tracking the skies for us this weekend. But first, we want to tell you about some of the planes here. We've seen a lot so far today, and a few of them here at the air show have seen actual combat.
That's right. Our Northern Utah correspondent, Kade Garner, has the story of the A-37 Dragonfly and the pilot who's flying it.
Yeah, that A-37 Dragonfly really is just a living piece of history. Now, this specific plane itself was produced here in the United States. It was sent over to South Vietnam to be used in the war. North Vietnam actually captured the plane and used it against South Vietnam. And then after the war, it was kind of discarded and just left to fall into disrepair. The A-37 lands in Ogden ahead of the air show. Its pilot, Mark Peterson.
My dad was a World War II bomber pilot, and he got me flying when I was 6 years old, and I've just been a pilot ever since.
Peterson's father flew 29 missions during the war, and now he flies in air shows in his dad's memory.
To be sitting up there in a relatively benign environment and just thinking about some of the things my dad went through is just, I wish I'd had more of these experiences before he died so I could relate to him a little bit more, but I talk to him every time I'm flying, so we still connect.
His plane was built in the United States and given to the South Vietnamese during the war.
So its job was to go out, load her over the battlefield, wait for troops that needed air support, and then come in and either drop bombs or shoot the gun to try to help push the enemy back or dislodge them from, entrenched positions.
He says at one point, the North overtook the airbase, taking the plane and then using it against the South.
Oh yeah, this is a combat veteran. It's got a lot of combat.
After the war, he says it was set aside to rust. Decades later, some Australians bought it. Years after that, a Floridian bought it and began restoration.
There's bullet holes here and there in the airplane that have been patched. There's one here, there's one back on the tail. You see back there, there's more in the belly. Unfortunately, some of it has been removed by Charlie when he was restoring the airplanes.
Now, thanks to that restoration, millions of Americans get to see a piece of living history soar above their heads every year.
Flying these things has turned out to be everything I thought it was going to be. It's just a blast. I mean, they're such fun airplanes to fly. The thing I didn't see coming at all was all the people I would get to meet.
He says he met a particularly special person at a recent show.
Guy showed up at the fence, and obviously a gentleman out of Southeast Asia somewhere, very strong accent, broken English, and he said, I flew that. He said, I flew that.
After talking with the man and seeing a couple pictures, like this one, Peterson learned the man flew this exact plane over 100 times for South Vietnam during the war.
And he had tracked this airplane out of Southeast Asia to Australia, then to Florida, and then knew that we were going to be flying it at Moses Lake. He got on an airliner, flew all the way to Moses Lake, Washington, just so he could see this airplane. So we got him in the cockpit. His family was there. We reunited him with an airplane that he flew 50 years ago. So
a little emotional. It had to have been emotional.
Oh, it was incredible. Yeah, we were all tearing up because it was like this guy, fought, and put his life on the line for his country in this very airframe.
I mean, can you even imagine that meeting? It would have been incredible to be a part of. Now, Peterson says meeting people like that man is really the reason that he continues to do these air shows. It's what makes it all worthwhile. Sarah, Brian, over to you.